See the error.
Uh-oh.
And I think you make an effort to insulate him far.
Shut up.
Speaking of trash, let's turn JR off.
So
Doesn't beat that.
every once in a while, in a great while, I will make this guy laugh where he loses his train of thought. And if you watch the stream on Sunday, the Buffalo Bills, I described them as being anemic, or I would describe them as being anemic. However, that would require a pulse. And I think a lot of you could agree in the fact that what do they try? The Houston Texans defense has a reputation.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a good one.
I didn't hear Tyrann Mathieu's name a lot today.
No.
I heard a 34-year-old Jonathan Joseph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Watt and Clowney, they made plays, but they always make plays. They weren't game-changing plays.
Jonathan Joseph doesn't surprise me, though, Mar, because he's not fast at this point in his career, and neither are the Bills' receivers. So if there was ever a matchup for him to be in, this is it.
Touche. Good man.
This is it.
Touché. Yeah. If there's a game that he could be in and be effective, it'd be this game.
Yeah.
But it's just like, just some of the play calls that were, I mean, we referenced it once again on Sunday. You know, the play Allen made to Benjamin down the side, 42 yards. Great play. Best throw he had all day. You know what I mean? As my phone falls.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was the best play he had all day. DeMarco had an illegal formation or whatever. The very next play, 3rd and 11 or whatever, I think it was, they run a draw to Shady. And it was like, Watt's out of the game.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Watt's,
roll to that side, do something to that side?
Yeah.
He ran away from him. He ran toward Clowney. So I don't understand. That tells me that he already has plays that he wants to run no matter what the situation is. He looks at his card up in the booth, 3rd and 11. Okay, I have these 6 plays. That's what I want to run. Wait, you're specifically looking down on the field so you can get an overall view of what's going on.
Well, I think it speaks to what, I mean, there is absolutely no way in the world that Allen has the opportunity to change a play at the line. No, you
don't think?
No,
not at all.
Not at all. Because if he had the ability, and he knew Watt was out of the game, he put him on the ground. He knew Watt was out, and then he sees the play call. You don't think in his mind he's going, guys, Shady over here. Like, motion Shady over to the other side, and then you run the play that way.
I really think he's so, that could be one of those things that it's so fast for him right now that he's just running what he gets.
Maybe.
Okay, you want me to run that? Fine. Wait, he may look over film this week and be like, listen, Watt was out. Why didn't we?
Yeah.
Or somebody might say something to Daboll. Listen, why? He's out of the game. Run a drag route to to Clay or something, or do something. It just seems like, I mean, we mentioned it last week, kind of like
that edge is going to get sealed.
Well, no, kidding on the square. We were kidding on the square, saying this football team is content winning games 13-10.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were content doing that.
Yeah. Totally.
And it's just one of those things where. And it's more frustrating, I think, for us because we're watching what's going on with the NFL landscape. Mm-hmm. You see 300-yard passers. You see 400-yard passers. You see all these guys put up these ridiculous numbers.
Allen doesn't have 300-yard passes if you add these last 3 games together.
He really doesn't. His stats were exactly the same.
Yeah.
But then again, he had a 42-yarder taken away from him.
Yeah.
I think he had another out route taken away from illegal formation. You can't account for those. I understand that. But it doesn't seem like, what is this offense doing?
Yeah,
what did they do on Sunday that was okay? This is our game plan.
Yeah,
we're going to try to keep the ball most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you would expect this team to run the ball all day long, and they didn't. They really didn't. But they got behind a couple scores, not super late, not super early in the game. But I mean, it was the third quarter before they had their 4th first down. Like, they only had 12. They only had 12 first downs all day. 12 or 15. Either way, it doesn't matter. It was the third quarter. They had under 5 first downs for the game.
They were down in Green Bay, 13-0.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And they abandoned the running game.
Totally.
They really didn't abandon the running game against Houston when they were
right.
down 10. Do you think
You're
the
right.
Green Bay was a learning experience? That they say, hey, we don't really need to abandon it. Look at the defense we have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you go down 10 at halftime, you're still in pretty good shape. Even with that, can we call it an offense at this point?
I mean, that's...
Try and hold them, will you?
Yeah. That's... You get what you get. I mean, but this is the bet. This is the bet that was made for this organization with the moves in the offseason. Like, I was so when Allen went out, I was so frustrated with Brandon Beane. Just, like, so in my soul frustrated with him. Because you know what... Here's the deal. Nathan Peterman. Remember the movie Titanic? Right? You remember that movie? Okay. You know what happens.
There was enough room on them for both of them. There's enough room on that door.
Yeah, but you know what? If Rose knew that Jack was really Nate Peterman, she would have shoved his ass down underwater so fast. That's it. The movie would have been 5 minutes long. Everybody would have got what they came for.
I'll never let go. Well, I will.
Yeah. You're all right. What'd you do?
I just hit my emergency brake.
You mean that little pedal that nobody hits?
Never.
You couldn't hit that in an emergency if you tried.
Oh my God, can you imagine if we would have flipped the car over? If we flip over your handlebars, knock your 2 front teeth out. Leave me here taking grenades. No, yeah, that's, I mean, by now, at least when this comes out, Peterman would have been exasperated by now.
Yeah.
I mean, people would have been talking about how bad Peterman was. And he didn't play well.
No.
And we all know that.
He led the Bills down on a touchdown drive, right? It took advantage of, I'm not going to say took advantage. They had decent field position, right? Just had to keep the drive moving. But he didn't look bad, right?
No, it didn't look horrible, but we had 2 sides of Peterman.
But on a team that is predicated on the defense, why force the throws when the game is tied? You know, your defense has done a phenomenal job of getting the football all day. Why are you forcing anything?
I think because those routes were called to keep guys at the sidelines, so you can open up things in the middle. I believe I'll give Daboll a little bit of credit on that. You ran those sideline routes because you know that's what they were going to be protecting. So then you had guys that would come in the middle. Maybe we just have to come to the conclusion that just Peterman is just not good, and he was throwing those out routes all preseason.
Mm-hmm.
He threw them all last year.
Mm-hmm.
He loves that route for some reason, and he thinks he can throw it. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why he wants to throw that so many times. At first, I thought he was throwing them to prove that he wanted to try to prove to the Bills organization that he could throw those routes just as good as Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they already went with Allen. They drafted him 7th. You're really not going to change their mind.
No.
I don't understand why you keep trying to throw that route. He may have just panicked and threw it because that's what he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to be a formidable quarterback in the NFL, not even as a backup.
Yeah, no,
So,
the ship has sailed at this point. Like, you can cut him, nobody's going to pick him up. Like, it's just, and I can't imagine how empty a feeling it must be for him to have worked his whole life, and this is how it's turning out.
Yeah.
To work his whole life to get to this level, but it was time for the Bills to move on, right? It was time. It most certainly is that time now, that it's just time to go. That's it. It's time to move on. It is time to go. Unfortunately, Derek Anderson isn't the answer either. Like, I'm not saying you bring in somebody to compete with Allen, because there's no competition, right? There isn't. There's no competition.
For his performance, there could be competition, but you don't want competition.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to bring in competition for this kid.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Plus, I mean, the egg on the face of the organization, because they put all their eggs in the Nate Peterman basket. Truthfully, they put their reputation in the hands of Nate Peterman, and it exploded on them. Here's what I don't understand. They admitted they were wrong when they drafted Vallejo and cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they just do that with Peterman? I don't understand that. It's because they had Milano?
We didn't draft 2 quarterbacks in that draft.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah, it's...
But moving...
But, you know...
We get to play Indy next week. I guess that's fun. That's always a fun time, playing Indianapolis.
I am fine to play any team that wants to throw the ball 60 times a game.
And
that is fine by me.
And they will.
Boy, they're going to throw it.
But do you think they may score 20 points next week?
I don't think
Is Allen playing?
I don't think so.
I don't think they will. Unless there's a couple pick sixes. I don't.
You know it's bad when you're looking to see if you still have Joe Webb's number. That's where you are as an organization. You're like, well, it wasn't that bad. Like, really? Was it that bad?
I wonder if Indianapolis will sign Vontae Davis to a one-day contract. Whoops.
But you know what I would do if I were Indy? If there was a quarterback on the practice squad of the Bills, and that's one thing the Bills don't have, is they have Peterman, they have Allen, and they have Derek Anderson. There's no practice squad quarterback, right?
Yep.
If they had a practice squad quarterback, I absolutely would have signed him. Like, if I was the Patriots going against the Bills the next week, and they had a quarterback on their practice squad, I would absolutely be signing them.
Oh, that's so dirty.
It is dirty.
Why don't people do that more often anyway?
I don't know, actually. That's good. I don't know.
That'd be a great...
I don't know.
It would add up after a while.
Oh, yeah, it would. But the fact remains that, you know, from a defensive standpoint, no problem playing Indy. No problem at all. Bring them on. Happy to play Indianapolis.
No, I mean, as an offense going against the Indy defense.
Yeah, we could be going against LaSalle Senior High. It wouldn't matter. I'd give the offense the same chance as an NFL defense. The offense is so bad right now.
What's your prediction?
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
It's not going to be a very exciting football game. Neither team is very explosive offensively. It's not going to be a very exciting
Here's what you do. You ready? Okay. What you do is this. When Indy's on offense against the Bills defense, watch. Because that'll be fun. Once the ball gets turned over, think of that as your commercial break. Go to the bathroom, go get something to eat, play with the kids. Do whatever you got to do until Indy gets the ball back.
Right.
Again.
Yeah, because that's the only chance the Bills have of scoring points all day is if the defense does it. Is that what you're saying?
Because Indy offense against the Bills defense is a UFC fight.
Oh, yeah.
The Bills offense versus the Indy defense is like when you get at home at 3 in the morning and you turn on ESPN and you see these two guys like this. That's what it's going to look like.